Hello, hello. Oh, we're joined by Miss Maisie in the back. She'll probably climb the curtains in a second. So let's get some people invited as soon as Facebook lets me. And yeah, so we want to dive into looking at systems, looking at what's going on, following, getting, kind of follow up from yesterday. I got really fired up about the topic around why it's not the tools, why it's you. And so this is kind of the same theme, the same idea that, when we are trying to follow systems, when we're trying to follow the way other people do it, it may or may not work for you. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm gonna follow what somebody who's successful has done, and I'll just reproduce it and that'll work. And for some people, for some people, that actually works. But the reality is that for others, that doesn't work. That really doesn't work. And we need to talk about that. We need to talk about what's going on when it doesn't actually work. And so here, I think that's good. Hey, Teresa, here's the thing. We need to really get some clarity. And this is a big part of why I love the inner dominatrix branding and this, and Kitty, yes. We need to get really clear about what actually works for us. And I've really been a big proponent of steering away from really structured systems, and this is the way that you do it. I love for people to drop into, what is it for me? What is my authentic voice? What is my message that I want to get out in the world? And I've done some pieces in around the ticky-tacky stuff of, marketing and profit planning, and I still love those things. But ultimately, it comes down to you've got to do those things in a way that it is about, this is what works for me. So, if I show you the profit planning, then you need to look at that system and say, okay, what parts of it work for me? What parts of it don't work for me? To just take my system the way I have it, I'm showing you what works for me. And that may not totally work for you. And this is the thing, it's like if we're not willing to tweak things a little bit to make them work for ourselves, then you're not actually being authentic. So earlier today, I had this like huge conversation with Gaia Morissette, who is, her and I, like, we trade because she works at my level. I love her. And, we really got looking at this piece because there's been some things coming up for me. There's always a learning curve. There's always a growth. But looking at this thing of like, okay, so why is it that I can't, go and get certified in somebody's modality, even if I think their modality is fantastic, even if I think that it's like it is really good and I want to use elements of it. Why can't I go and get certified? So I'm on the extreme end of this. But there's no part of me that is a follower. And if I try to be a follower, then I'm being inauthentic. And that's the reality. When I try to be a follower, I am inauthentic. Right? So, give me a hell yeah if you agree. That is you. Now, it's not to say that it is wrong if you find that you want to run somebody else's system, you want to get certified in their system, and you want to run it. If that's aligned and authentic with you, then do it. So there are different styles. Beth Grant, she runs the marketing content personality. I believe that's what it's called, her system. And I love the fact that she really leans into this piece of that there are different styles. There are people who have like a guru style. There are people who are more of a truth teller style, which is me. There are people who are the supportive role, and there is, I forget what the fourth one is because it's totally out of my radar. But you can look her up. She's got a great little system there. But this idea that, we have to be authentic. We have to come from the place of what works for us. And, trying to follow somebody else's system and structure might not be the gift. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. So I just, really, really wanted to put in this piece that it's really an invitation for you to do what works for you. If you learn something from somebody, Take the pieces and the aspects of it that actually work for you and leave the rest, right? So same thing with all this stuff. So we've been doing all this amazing stuff in this 7-day live stream, which I'm continuing to do a few little lives, little bonuses, which are not really part of the Witch Wound, but I get to keep reminding you about the 90-day program, right? Which, by the way, I just want to just let you know, a warning, price is going up on Friday at midnight. Okay, so the price of the program is going up $200. So early bird, you have today, tomorrow, and Friday to get the early bird pricing. Just a reminder. And I will actually be closing the cart early. So I'm actually going to close the cart on 31st, Halloween. Even though the program starts November 8th, and I know a lot of people are like, why are you doing that? You could be missing out on the last minute sales. Last minute sales come because the door is closing, not because it's closed the day before or the day of. And I really had, I had words with one of my team members, and she's like, you could be losing out on sales. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter what day the cart closes. It's just that last minute piece that drops people in, right? And see, this is where I lean into my system. I don't want to be pushing, and it's, you know, I'm not going to push, but I don't want to be doing that, you know, excitement and the energy and making sure that people know, hey, it's closing, it's closing, it's closing. I don't want to be doing that right before the program starts, because I want to get my head in gear to serving the community that's there. I want to be dropping in, giving them some love, giving them some nuggets. I want to already be doing some bonus pieces in the program, not focused on marketing. So that's my choice. This is my way of doing this alignment piece, right? It's not about me following the system or structure. So you get to do it the way that works for you. You know, the piece about a last minute push is as long as you have a close date, you have that scarcity in place, you have something that is a finite end, and you clearly indicate, right, which is what I'm doing, I'm clearly communicating when that is. That's really what creates that push for people to land in the piece. It's not about that it needs to be the day before. You get to do what works for you. You know, and my other thing is that I really want to encourage my community, my people who want to do stuff with me. I want to encourage them, sign up early. I don't want to have to do all this work at the end. I want it to be easy. It's allowed to be easy, really. Like, I would love to get to the place where it's like I put it out, we announce what it is, and people just sign up, which I had a whole bunch of people sign up. We've got 6 people in the program already. And they did. They just signed up, which is amazing, right? So you get to do what works for you. You really get to do what works for you. And that's the whole thing, is that all of these systems and structures that are out there, all of this is the way to do the close, this is the way to do a live launch, this is the way to do your funnel, all the shit is only what works for them. And it's only what works for them that time. Maybe they did it twice, maybe they reproduced it, but things change dynamically. And when you're actually in alignment, when you're actually dropping in to connecting with who you are at the core, what really feeds your soul, what really lights you up, and be willing to keep showing up, you know, all of those pieces, then you get to do it in a way that works for you. That's the great thing. You know, the majority of the people who end up working with me, it's not because I'm hounding them. It's not because I'm like constantly pestering them in the messenger. It's not. Like, occasionally I will, you know, I will message people, but honestly, if people are ready, they drop in. I don't need to push. I don't want to push. I want it to be an invitation. When you're ready, right? When you're ready, I'm fucking here. And I don't need to push you. You know, I may just kind of reach out and just let you know. I may reach out and say, hey, you're joining us, as far as the full program, just so that everybody knows. Because, and I do that only because Facebook is shitty at sending out the notifications, right? So even with this, Facebook is shitty about sending out the invitations. I have invited a whole crap load of people, right? No, Facebook's not sending those messages. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And that's just the way it is. So, and it's not like I need to make Facebook wrong about it. It's annoying, but it is a free platform. So I work around it. So if I do message you, it's an invitation, it's because it's out of love. It's out of like, I don't want you to miss this. If you actually wanted it, I don't want you to miss it. Okay. But I will tell you, I've had a few people that I have removed from my sphere because when I reached out to them, they were fucking rude to me. So I don't think anybody who's actually watching this is going to do that to me. But like, if you can't have a conversation around, no, this isn't for me, this isn't the time, thank you. If you can't approach me that way, you're out. Like, it's just, I just don't have any bandwidth anymore to be working with that kind of energy. And, you know, it's like, I honor you, I give you space to say no, I don't take it personally. And if you can't say that in a nice way, I'm just going to move on, and I'm going to make space for some more people who will, and who will love it. And maybe now is not the time for this piece. Maybe it's time for something else. But, you know, you have full permission to say no, but do it with love. Do it with respect. Do it because it genuinely is not the right time, and not out of fear or scarcity. So, all right, I went totally off topic. So, you know, that's me. I just kind of, you know, get onto these little soapboxes and rants and pieces, but I really do want to drive home the piece that systems and structures, take what works for you from those systems, check in intuitively as to which pieces will work for you. You know, I can come up with all kinds of ideas for people, but you've got to figure out, it's got to be aligned so that you feel really good about it, so that you're willing to step in and show up, right? Like me. I'm probably gonna be in here every day doing some lives about some topics and talking about the Witch Queen program, because this is what's required. And it feels good. It feels fun. It feels fun. It feels like I'm like loving up on all of you, right? Just kind of dropping some more truth bombs. This is who I am. This is how I show up. This is how I'm rolling. And I'm totally committed to just creating that invitation for you to stand in your power. And I know for me, clearing out these witch wounds has dramatically increased my ability and my willingness to stand out and be visible and do this. Like, I don't know if you guys notice it. Let me know. Like, do you actually notice the difference with me? Some of you have been following me for a while. Hopefully you feel the difference. I feel a huge difference in how much more I am showing up here, how much more I am like just being raw and authentic. And this is my path. This is where we're going, right? And so this is what these pieces have done for me, which is why I'm so fucking excited about this program. So get your butt in there. Right. I'm going to drop a link after I get off of this so that you can join the 90-day program if this is fun, right? To get a yes, is it fun? Will it make me at least a 2x ROI? And is now the time. So if you get a yes on all of those three, you're going to click on the link and you're going to register. Pick a payment plan, get in there before Friday so that you catch the cheaper price. Woo! All right. Love you.